Hello, everyone. Jeff from RespawnStudios.com here with a special guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. I'm Jin from RespawnStudios.com, fellow admin.
And we are starting a new hopeful series today of, well, we might call it Two Guys, One Game, but that's probably taken by every internet joke person in the world. But regardless, it'll be me and Gino playing co-op of different games. So to start, we're going to do a game that we both played for probably 80 hours, Resident Evil 5. And we're going to do it on veteran difficulty. I'm going to be Chris because Gino has to be the woman in whatever game it is.
I don't like that you hovered over Sheva for a moment there at all, actually.
And here
A little close.
The video is already getting exciting. Here I'm inviting Gino, who's apparently updating, so he's offline.
Yeah.
What you are watching now should have been edited in the final... No.
Yeah, that's probably not
going
going
to happen. So I'm waiting for him to update. I think I'm about to remove all the inventory from Sheva because he's about to become Sheva. Which would have done this anyway, but I decided to do it myself. I'm going to give myself the Hydra shotgun, I think. And we're also using the settings to have unlimited ammo with everything. And if you're not sure...
on veteran, you kind of need it.
Yeah. And definitely on professional. And you see we have so many health items. If you just play for the game for a while, you start to accrue a lot of crap. But if you're wondering how to get unlimited ammo for any reason, if you don't already have it, you have to beat, what is it? And I think it's any difficulty under
any difficulty
4 hours?
within 5 hours, I think it is. It's
well,
very
5
easy.
hours would be even better.
Yeah, it's very easy.
I think on amateur, our best time is under 3 hours. So
right.
You probably won't get it your first playthrough because you won't know what you're doing, but...
I did.
Well, that's because I knew what I was doing.
Well, Brad did my first playthrough, basically.
Well, la-di-da.
He already had the infinite launcher, so it was kind of cheap. But yeah.
Right. You didn't even have to do anything. So we're going to skip these opening cutscenes after Army leaves our party.
Even though his name is Respawn Jesse, he will always be Army to
us. So we are also going to try and show you the location of all the, what are they called? BSAA or BSSA?
BSAA, I think. No.
Yeah, BSAA emblems.
Yeah, I think it's BSAA.
The blue hexagon things that you shoot. Hopefully it's coming through. I think the video's up in 720, but if you're playing this on an HD TV, I think it's one of the best looking games. There's a bunch of guys kicking another guy in a sack, but we'll let that be. And we're not in our super awesome costumes yet, but we're about to be.
We also don't know the controls yet.
Yeah, we hadn't played this in probably 3 months.
3?
8 months, I don't know. I think everyone was a little disappointed when it wasn't the shopkeeper's voice from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
What are you buying?
What are you selling?
So once we skip this cutscene, it goes to Sheva's cleavage. We'll be in our outfits.
Yeah, no fan service at all in this game.
Okay, it's after we take our guns out, whip it out. We'll be in our outfits. So no matter what outfit she's in, it's always like that, so...
Destination coordinates?
Yeah. Reasons I like this game a lot.
Might see him in my stylish zebra suit.
Remember, we're a team.
There we go.
You might have heard, come on. We do that pretty much every possible opportunity. Anytime you have to co-op open a door when someone's there first, you can keep hitting B and they say annoying things like come on or the person's name or hurry up.
Yeah, which you will definitely be hearing.
Yeah. I might edit our voices out for different times so you could hear how many times we do it, like right here. Well, that wasn't bad. There was only 2. But
Yeah, we didn't have enough time. We were both too close together. Definitely later in this mission, though.
so we haven't fought any enemies yet. The game starts
You know,
slow
I've
for
never
about
taken the time to read the history.
2 minutes. Well, it's timeline stuff. It's not too interesting.
They didn't move like any zombies
And
I've
if you played the other Resident Evils, you probably know most of it. Here I was lost. I had no idea where I was looking. There we go.
Naturally, I get lost right after he does.
So we have our unlimited ammo weapons, as you see, the Infinity logo. If we don't do it here, but there is actually a limited number of enemies. If you kill all of them, you get a unique gem. I think it's trillions, which they made up, obviously, of topaz.
Right, I do believe that is true.
There's a ton of collectible gems. We'll try and show you some of the interesting ones.
Come in, Kirk.
But that's how you get one of them. I think there's 4 or 5 grades of everyone. There's Square, Opal, Brilliant, Trilliant, and another one, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. But
Then
I'm
there's
sure there is
all
another.
kinds of random stuff. There's like chalices. All right, here we go. There's where we're hitting B a lot. The weapon we have out right now is nicknamed the hand cannon. You get it for fully upgrading a Magnum.
It's pretty much the most powerful gun in the game next to the rocket launcher.
And you get weapons like the Hydra from fully upgrading different guns. I think that was from one of the shotguns.
The Ithaca, I think.
Ithaca, yeah.
Which is the first shotgun you get, I believe.
Yeah, the first or second. And I think
later in
it
this level, I
unlocks in the
think you get
shop,
the
even if
Uzi.
you didn't pick it up. As long as you're past the point in the game where you're supposed to have been able to pick it up, it's in the shop.
Right. You just get a free one if you pick it up at the right time.
Yeah. All right, so just a quick tip for this point. It depends how many enemies you get, whether or not you kill the what's called the agitator Magini, which I think Gino takes out. He's up there to the left. You might have been able to see him on my screen. It's a guy that's holding a megaphone. They're not so much in the main game. They're a lot in the Desperate Escape DLC. I think that's only one of the couple in the main game, though. So I think I'm looking at this wall for about 2 minutes and nothing's happening. They're all coming from Gino's side. And then I start missing, so yeah, I'm doing things like this. Probably going to want to get used to different things like that if you're going to watch. That probably crippled my accuracy.
Only 2 missed shots.
I like that guy was running in place on top of the wall. That's pretty solid. One of the big executioner guys is coming up. He breaks through the fence.
You'll also note that when Jeff used the rocket launcher, it blew up the wall there.
Which isn't really advisable. I mean, it gives you a quicker way to get back inside if you have to retreat for any reason, but it also allows enemies to come out of there, where otherwise they would have had to come out the small window, where it's much more easy to control. But I was hesitant to use weapons where I have to aim more than the rocket launcher, because, again, we hadn't played in a while, so being used to the controls wasn't really a thing I had going for me. Like there, shooting right over the guy's shoulder, pretty solid. But here the guy's forced to come through the window because they're dumb.
Well, they're not really forced, they're just really, really dumb. Ooh, nice shot.
They are kind of zombies though, so shouldn't be too smart. And that's like a common misconception with Resident Evil 4 and 5. People just call them zombies, but they're technically not. It's
They're
like
still alive.
it's from a bug disease called the Ouroboros. That's what they were jamming down a guy's throat in one of the cutscenes that we skipped. It's like a parasite that changes your insides. I guess would be my scientific term.
Well, also your outsides, when your face splits open like a flower.
And the guy's like eyes were bleeding tar and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And they turn into crab people.
Yeah, you're probably gonna see a lot of crab people when we get to the boat, especially. And the other thing with this series, we'll try and cover an entire game, especially with a game like Resident Evil 5 that we love. Other games we might just do 1 or 2 episodes for, we'll see. I think we're in this section for quite a long time.
Well, the enemies just weren't showing up after a while.
If you're not hearing it, Gino just went, come on, come on, come on.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
Gino's character, I should say, Sheva. Not that we need gold, but I'm running around picking up some gold now. I think I have a few 100,000.
I have a
really
lot of
anything you
gold.
ever need to buy. There's like the 2 vests, which help a little bit, and saying "come on," but and then first aid sprays.
Wait. Go. Okay.
All right, so I was asking Gino how to do the other commands, and he told me, so now I'm doing that.
Wait. Thanks.
And you probably see a lot of the evolution of the series where it was much more survival horror before. Now it's like action, and there's even some sort of comedy elements. That's also probably because it's the company that also does Dead Rising.
One of the things you'll note is that there's a case right near where we are standing, and it houses an Uzi, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a machine gun.
Yeah.
Every type of gun has different ammo. There's shotgun, pistol, magnum, sniper rifle. Well, just rifle in general. And there's grenade launcher ammo. If you're able to buy the rocket launcher, it only has 1 shot. But again, if you beat the game in under 4 or 5 hours, you'll have unlimited ammo. But you do have to turn that on in special features or something.
Oh, oops, I forgot about this.
What's that?
What's about to happen to you, I believe?
Oh, we thought all the guys were dead, and I climb up, and there's like 4 of them.
No,
Oh,
it's not.
that's... yeah. Dick. There's also a couple achievements for doing that. Shooting down those... I don't even know what you call them. Fuses or-
Transformers.
Transformers, there you go. You might notice I'm also an idiot. When you knock them down, they might electrocute someone, but then they have like an unlimited charge, and if there's another one on the ground over there. If an enemy's close to it and you shoot it, they're electrocuted, and if I think you killed 2 enemies, you get an achievement. I don't think it's 2 enemies at the same time, but I do think it's 2 enemies in like the same sub-chapter.
I think it's 2 enemies at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the one with fire, which you might have seen the red barrels, is 3 enemies at the same time.
Yeah,
Right where I'm going to drop down are barrels you could shoot, and it's fire.
right.
And I think that's the end of 1-1. Guy that apparently got lost in the helicopter because he took so long, but we both got S rating, which is the highest. Beat it in under 10 minutes.
Someone
Pretty
could have
good.
done better on their accuracy, though.
Right. Chris guy is not very good. LOL.
Yeah,
Alright,
the guy
so-
with steroids.
I think I'm going to scroll over to my treasures coming up. I'm putting another first aid spray out. Yeah, so these are all the treasures you can get. And For the longest time, I thought you had to go individually to sell them, but there is the option to hit right bumper, which sells all of the current gems or whatever treasures you have. So that's nice and handy.
Yeah. I actually have multiples of each gem that I just keep for fun.
So being held up by Gino, putting out more first aid sprays.
I have no idea what I was doing at this time.
Alright, so this is chapter 1-2, as you can see, public assembly. Again, I think this is the one with the chainsaw guy.
Yeah, I do think this is where it is at the end.
Or is that 1-3? Whatever. We'll see. There's
Well, I
another
think
come on.
1-3 is the
That's where it starts in like the
down
shipping
chopper.
yard.
Yeah.
That's where I try and melee the arrow for about 20 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there's a 60-point achievement when most achievements are like 15 or 30 for melee an arrow that's being shot at you. It's not really that hard to do, but I make it look much harder. I don't even know if I get it during this. I already had the achievement, so it wouldn't have popped, but
Yeah, I actually found that there was a slightly easier place right after for me when I got it. But you do take a lot more damage if you miss in the area where I went for it.
Yeah, especially on veteran. You could do it on any difficulty. I was having a lot of difficulty not aiming at a board there. Oh. If you're unprofessional, that probably would have taken you into red health or like made your partner have to revive you.
Right.
Professional's really crazy. You have to be much more careful. And always be near your partner. Alright, so coming up is going to be one of the first, I think the first emblem, since we haven't gotten to any yet. And there's also going to be a unique treasure piece, which is a clock and a treasure chest on the second floor here. So here's the emblem. You have to come up to this alleyway, balcony. Wow, I'm like a... wow. Just ignore most of what I say. But you can't see that from the ground floor. You might hear all of Gino's colorful comments telling me to come down. But there's that clock.
Really needed his help to kick that door.
Because, you know, women are weak. Haha. Alright, so this is where the blonde woman becomes crazy blonde woman. Whoa! You don't really get to see it too much there, but they have like this big centipede whip head pop out of them. There's Ivy Relief, which is another treasure piece. It isn't
Also,
that
it's
rare.
fairly unique.
Right, it's fairly unique, but it does come from different types of enemies throughout the game.
Right.
I'm ignoring the enemies that were jumping the fence behind me. I'm going to turn back and miss.
Walked right into her.
Right. We both told the other to hurry up there. It was pretty good.
Unfortunately, at the doors, you cannot choose what they say.
Yeah, they might say the same thing like 5 times in a row, but that's sometimes even funnier, so. There aren't any enemies in this building, but there's this like dead body that's walking toward you, like dying. It's pretty cool. There's some rats on the ground there. is probably one of like the, I guess, scary parts. So.
At this point, we still originally thought it was a horror game.
Right, like we didn't have the zebra costume or unlimited ammo or anything, so it was still about surviving. All right, so another emblem is going to be here under this little water tower.
I
Hey, I
usually
actually
forget
hit
that
something
one.
the first time there. Over to the
There's some
left.
treasure.
Yeah, we don't do it, but there's a treasure chest which just has a bunch of gold. I think like 1,200 total gold.
Which is pretty decent when you're first starting out.
Yeah. I think the early upgrades for guns are like 250, and then 500, then 1,000, and then like the last upgrades for guns I think are 2,000 each. And when you upgrade guns, you can get like higher, a faster reload rate. You get higher magazine capacity, more damage.
More ammo.
Right.
Well,
All right. So we're coming up to the first boss or mini boss. We didn't remember how to trigger it. I thought you had to go to this door. It was apparently that we had to pick up the furnace key, which is over by the furnace. Wouldn't you know it? Otherwise, there's like this long drawn out battle with the boss where you have to get it in the furnace, and then you and your partner have to trigger the doors and run outside before you're also trapped, otherwise you'll die. I think you have to do that like 2 or 3 times. Or if you have unlimited ammo rocket launchers, you can kill basically every boss in the game in one hit, like we do here. And we got a ring, another type of treasure, but it's not too unique.
no, that one drops pretty often from the slightly stronger enemies than what you find in the coming area.
Here's the last emblem of this subchapter. There's usually 2 or 3 in each subchapter. I think there's 30 total in the game. And I think this is the end of the subchapter.
Come on! Come on! Hurry up!
Cutscene. Yep. End of 1-2. Well, somebody got an S rating.
Well, maybe if you weren't, stealing my kills.
You had more kills.
That's the point.
Alright, so this is the very start of 1-3. If you turn around, there's a ladder. You can come up here, get some gold. And there's also an emblem. You might have seen it on the wall. I think there's also a gun case down here.
I believe it has a machine gun.
Another machine gun?
Well, the first one I think is the Uzi, which is a submachine gun.
Right, but they use the same type of ammo.
Right.
Alright, so don't just run into all these areas. There's a lot of explosives, like right there,
Those.
which I almost ran into, even though I've done this a lot.
And on the harder difficulties, running into those can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And yes, it does lower your accuracy to shoot the bombs.
And the emblems and anything really, but your accuracy only matters for rating, and unless you're going for all S ratings or something, it's not too big of a concern. And you see we still are getting S ratings even with all the crap we're shooting, so, and all the times I miss because I'm terrible, but I thought Gino wasn't going to save me there for a second.
Then he repays me by getting up the ladder first.
There's an achievement for doing each melee attack. Like you and your partner, one does the first attack, the other does the second, and the guy who did the first attack does the third. And if you're doing it on veteran and professional, you can. One of the most well-known areas to do it is with that big African American guy there on the ground. If you let him come down toward you between the shipping crates, it's even easier. You should just try and be on opposite sides of him. And then, like, do you have to shoot him in the legs first or something to make the melee option come up? I don't even remember. Yeah, dog committed suicide there. It's pretty nasty.
I would like to mention real quick that this takes place in Africa, so he's not African American.
I don't think anyone's ever going to watch any of my videos ever again. Maybe they will, just to see like the next stupid thing I say.
I know I will be.
You see, I took out a health item after Gino had already healed me. I wasn't even going to heal myself to begin with. I probably would have died. But that's one of the good spots to go for that melee the arrow achievement, because you can kill all the other enemies and it would just be that guy who like doesn't move.
I usually prefer to go for it in this area coming up right here, because there will be like 4 to 5 people shooting you at the same time, and if you keep spamming it, you will eventually hit one.
And also be ready to either shoot the driver through the glass or just hit it with a rocket launcher. Otherwise it will hit and kill you.
Right.
There's a lot of, well, not a lot, but 3 explosive barrels lining the bridge that you could shoot to eliminate some enemies, which we do there. And unless the enemies like have thrown grenades at you or something, they won't go after the other barrels themselves to injure you. So,
Which on professional and in certain areas on veteran they do a lot.
all right,
Throwing
and
grenades.
here's our next emblem. I believe this is our number 4 total. Probably could have just taken out my rocket launcher, but I was just having a hard time trying to see the red dot laser sight on it.
I think it's around here where I make that bad decision with my rocket launcher. No, I think it might be later. Oh yeah, it's later. I remember where it is now. Right before the chainsaw guy.
So you can look forward to that.
Yeah.
Oh, when I throw you across the other building.
Yep.
There's going to be a, what is it, a sapphire in the water here?
Yes, it's blue, so yes.
Yeah, I think you pick it up.
Not the sapphire has to be blue.
But if you
Let's
turn
get
here
that
to
out
the
there.
left, there's a gem in the water, and just pick it up. So this is another unique type of enemy that they're introducing. Sometimes when you kill enemies, these like, I don't even know what you'd call them, little enemies come out.
As you can see, I just got sapphire.
I didn't realize it, so I run over here to pick it up.
I honestly only keep the PSG one with me for the sake of Metal Gear, but it's
Can
really
also help
not that
with getting
useful.
gems and stuff.
Yeah, if I needed them.
Alright, so speaking of gems, there's going to be a sort of unique one that you have to blow stuff up to get to coming up. There's also, you might see the little blue flashing. Again, if you have a rocket launcher, you could just shoot and blow up the entire outhouse and get it. Otherwise, you have to shoot between the crack. And these stands, you could actually blow up, as you saw I just did. And then there's this treasure chest. Oh, that's the other, what is it called?
Marquise.
Marquise. That's the
Right.
other 5th type of grade of gem. I'm also climbing on the roof because there's, I think, a emerald square on the roof.
Yep,
Yeah, sweet.
good memory.
Thank you, thank you. Did one thing right today.
That
Alright, so
entire time I was running in circles, mind you.
there's a lock on the door, you have to shoot it. I think actually if you kick the door like 5 times, eventually the lock breaks, but you do have to kick the door like a few times. So you needed to shoot the key. I don't think there was any other way to get it down, and now we have to run back toward the water to open up a gate. I want to say the enemies are unlimited here. I don't think we've ever fought them to see if they are or not.
I've never checked.
Yeah, so I can't say that for sure, but a lot of enemies do show up.
On
So we usually
professional,
just
you want to be very careful though in this
right.
area, especially after what's his name?
Oh, the helicopter guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he killed the two of us something like 40 times on professional.
Yeah, there's also
Absolutely terrible.
Molotov cocktail guys, which you saw me shoot right there. And there's also a few guys with crossbows. Alright, here's our next emblem, number 5. I again probably should have switched to my rocket launcher and just easily taken it out. I think I do. Because I give up on aiming because I'm so bad. And there
Even though with that scope you could aim much better.
Right. Point blank range miss there. Pretty good. There's an achievement for helping your partner when it displays help, I think 20 times. And there's also one for saving your partner when it says like dying 20 times, which is in their red health, and they would die if you don't get to them.
And if you're playing on professional or veteran, you will see that a lot.
If you go in the double doors where I'm looking toward, there's a sniper rifle in a gun case.
I think it's the Dragunov.
Yeah, I think it is the Dragunov. And don't worry, the entire game doesn't take place in like villages. There are some really cool varied settings. There's an underground garden in the subchapter called Underground Garden. Wouldn't you know it?
Yep. Which looks amazing. There's a ship.
Yeah, you probably already heard me mention a boat.
Yep.
There's some caves and ruins. It's an industrial facility. A pretty epic boss battle and elevator.
POWs, that's what they call them.
There's a Molotov cocktail. There he is. Be careful of that guy, because those do, if you're doing on veteran and professional, those do a lot of damage. Also, inside here, you might be tempted to just explore, and over to the left there's some items, but also over to the left an enemy jumps out at you, so if you go over there, just be careful for that.
Don't try to take a shower. That's where he's waiting.
Yeah, prison rape.
Actually, I think it's a toilet, if I remember correctly.
Same
One
thing.
of those
right?
toilets that are just sitting there on the floor. There's, you just
This
squat.
is the last emblem of the subchapter, so I think our total is now 6.
Come on. Hurry up.
I give up on aiming, and then I totally miss it.
Come on. Hurry up.
He
There
could
we
have
go.
used his Hydra to do that very easy, but
Right. And no matter what, Sheva's going to be the one that's tossed over there.
right. Also, no matter what's about to happen happens.
Yeah. That
There is
wasn't an
absolutely
enemy.
nothing he can do to help me.
That was Gino rocketing himself. What didn't you like rocket a shot from an enemy or something?
I rocketed a wrench that was thrown through the air.
It's like rocketing the flag in Halo or something.
Yeah, it's very, very unlucky.
But fortunately, there are a decent number of checkpoints, so we go back right here. I think the emblem's back, and just for the sake of it, I shoot it again just to make sure. Even though we have all of them, but I think once you shoot it the first time, it just counts. Because they're always going to be there when you replay stuff. Alright, so you can like have a sniper or something and aim across and try and help your partner, but he knows what he's doing. He has unlimited ammo, so I just come down here. The guy that you threw across, well, I guess the chick, Sheva, has to come downstairs and shoot a lock off the door where you are. I think I was actually going for the explosive barrel, not the guy there, and I just missed. Oh, I was wondering what this said on the wall, so we check it out. I don't know if like Fat is the name of a city. Because we're like north. Is that north?
No idea.
So if you actually know something about it and want to let us know in the comments, feel free to do so. So here's our first chainsaw guy of the game. These guys drop treasure. They can also get back up. So be careful of that. I don't think they get back up on normal or amateur, but on veteran and professional.
On amateur, they definitely do not, but I'm not too sure about normal.
Don't skip this treasure chest because it has 4 gems in it and some gold.
Hurry! Come on! Hurry! Shove! 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 Hurry!
There, I'm hitting B 100 times. Oh, is this the really pointless part?
Yes? I think so? Yes.
Yeah. They like make you walk through this area and then you just have to go to this door. Like you can go
I think
in that
there's
hut.
a
I
red
think there's
herb or
like a couple
something.
items to pick up, but like there's no point to that area.
Yeah, I think there's like a red herb or something.
Alright, so this is going to be the first button press sequence, and we might become pretty famous for how many times you're going to fail. But I think we actually do this perfectly the first time. You can also keep hitting the back button, which skips right to the button press sequences. So also be careful if you're doing that.
Right.
It's first Chris has a button press by himself, then Sheva, and then both of you are going to have to hit 2 buttons. And anytime
And
you
they
have to
do
hit,
switch.
yeah, but anytime you have to hit 2 buttons, it's either A and X or the 2 triggers. We always joke like, what if it's A and left trigger or something? But I've never
And
seen
then
that.
sometimes I end up pressing A and left trigger and things don't go well.
If you hit all 4 buttons, I think it actually still works. So I might want to do that. Here we
Achievement.
go. Achievement unlocked. Lovable block 539. Join the party. Wow, you killed 24 more enemies than I did.
Well, I'm 24 times.